All right guys, so here is the series of bulletproof knee exercises. So these are the strength movements that I like to do in order to keep my knee tendons healthy. And so most of these positions you're gonna see are gonna be what's called a constrained position. So I'm forcing my quads and my knees to load versus being able to let my hips hinge and shift load back to my hips. Because that's one of the things that happens when you have knee pain is instead of squatting down into the knees, you start to squat back into the hips. And so now you're really doing a hinge versus a squat, which are two different motor patterns. And so the first one that I like to do is I like to go up onto a wall, and I'll actually put the heels against the wall. And then I'm gonna try to keep really good posture so my back's up against the wall, even my head's up against the wall. And I'm just gonna slide down as deep as I can, and then I'm gonna come back up. Now, if you have knee pain when you're coming down, you might come down and just hold just short of that knee pain or just into that knee pain. And you might even do just squat holds like that and just come up and down, or you might just go up and down through the non-painful range. That's a really good one to do. Next one we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to a rack like this, and you're gonna bring your foot whatever distance where you can touch your knee to the post, but your heel doesn't come off the ground. You're gonna start with that. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna lift the other foot up. It's gonna be a single leg squat where you're gonna touch your knee to the post. Now, the good thing about this exercise is it stops me from leaning forward, because if I try to hinge my hip, I can't get my knee there and I'll hit my head, right? So I have to basically stay upright. So I'm trying to make my head go straight up and down. And so as I go up and down, I'm keeping the same distance. And I'm gonna really control and not smash my kneecap into this post, because I really want that control on the way down and then coming back up. Next one we're gonna do is gonna be the reverse Nordic. So I'm just using a lot of these bands. You can use pull-up bands if you want, that's fine. And basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna get into a kneeling position, hip nice and straight. You're gonna lean back, and then you're gonna use your quads, you're gonna push your feet into the ground. So I'm not pulling up with my hands. My hands are staying at the same distance, and I'm pushing myself back up. And now the resistance as I go down, this becomes harder. And so I can keep letting go of bands, or I can get a lighter pull-up band to use, or eventually I could do this and just do quad Nordics without any band like that. And so that's another one that I really like to do. The last one that I like to do is a rear foot elevated split squat with the heel elevated. So I'm gonna demonstrate this against the wall. Typically I would do it against on a bench, but I'm gonna show you kind of what that looks like. So my heel's gonna be up on a wall, or my foot's gonna be up on a wall, heel on a plate, and make sure I'm spaced correctly. And then I like to put the heel up, because then I can keep upright body and I can really work on that quad. And so that heel elevated, rear foot elevated split squat is another great version to do. Now I'm gonna show you one more, and this is kind of a bonus exercise. If this exercise gets a little bit too easy, or you feel like because you have knee pain in one knee, you're shifting weight from one side to the other, you could just go, again, back against a post like this, heel up, holding on behind you, and you could do single leg pull slides. So I'm just, again, I'm constraining the movement because I can't lean forward, so I have to stay upright, and I'm coming down, and I'm working on loading one knee at a time, so I would do both sides on that. And depending on the knee pain, you might go to different depths on each side, which is fine, because eventually the goal would be to increase symmetry over time.